Hey everyone, how you doing today? My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an Americanteer. Today is September the 14th, 2022. Time is flying. Um, so there's a lot of things to talk about and discuss, but the first thing I should get out of the way because of the media, and that's where a lot of things just kind of pop up in people's head and they react. Um, and so for the Americanteers or general Americans out there, uh, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I've been thinking is that every time I watch the news or catch something new, I always say, well, that's just the current buzz. And and what I mean is just like that's just the current news. Key word, current. So I don't base anything on that new news that I received and read into it and go into the future or the next day and say, oh no, this is what's going to happen. This is what's happening. So that means this is going to happen. Uh, and that's the thing about the current news. Is the current news can change tomorrow, next day, 3 days from now, and throw off everything that you predicted or thought that was going on is not really going on the way you thought it was going on yesterday or 3 days ago, whenever it starts to change and manifest. So uh, be careful and making quick judgments out there with when it comes to the media. I mean, just be very careful, be aware that it's just the current news. It will change tomorrow, probably, or the next couple of days. It just changes. And so don't read into it, start to look into it, and waste your time uh, diving into this, you know, current news buzz and determine it as it's the future of America. I mean, a lot of it's not true. You know, a lot of it's just new news or old news that's being brought up as new news. So just be careful when it comes to the media. There's still a reliable source of information. I'm not going to put down any outlet. I mean, there's benefits to news in general, the way I see it, and there's also pitfalls and downfalls to news too. So, um, and that's where we got to be careful. We got to make our own judgment, and not say that just because they say it is the absolute current, news, and it's going to be that style. It's going to be the same tomorrow, the next day, and next day, and next day, and so therefore you can predict the future, and that's where the fear factor comes in. And this news is that it kind of throws in a little bit of fear in the current news, and it causes people to react. Uh, and you probably don't even know why you're reacting. You think it's because of the news, but it's not. It's just because of fear. You, the fear of unknown. So your brain and yourself are trying to assess this and to not become an unknown instead of an unknown. So don't, that is just, you know, don't go there. Just don't live your life in fear and thinking like, especially if it's bad news. And you're thinking, oh no, it's just, we're just toppled with bad news and with the media. Like everything is just going wrong. So don't buy into it all because it's just a but it looks like a layered cake, but it's not a cake at all. It may be layered and it may look kind of cute and beautiful, but it's made out of rock and sand and things like that, dirt. So it's not really something you can just eat like a piece of cake, like it because of all the layers. Uh, and the people that are savvy and know about the how to manipulate the media know this. They know it. And they'll add layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer until the layers just become absurd. So, and you got to be careful with that too, because that's just kind of built on lies, deception, manipulation, and people trying to think of us as Americans as that we don't know what's going on. We do know what's going on. We're just not going to buy into it all the time. We're smart enough to know better. And so that's my biggest takeaway and tip when it comes to the media and current news. Um, and wait for the current to become uncurrent. So that way you can actually really assess what's going on. Don't jump into quick assessments, quick judgments, quick this, quick that, because it's new and it's news, or you think it's going to affect you or a relative, or it doesn't. It coincides with what you believe in, or it doesn't. And so you just we just don't know that. That's the pitfalls of media or the news or anything like that. They probably don't even know what they're doing either. So you can't really blame them. They're all run and owned by corporations, and who knows what's going on behind closed doors. I don't. It's just it leaves the room or the doors open for manipulation, deception, just misleading and directing news the way they want it to be directed and how they want it to go down. So that's you got to be careful with that too. Doesn't say the news is not true. You can't believe in it, or it's all false, or anything like that. Those news stations are doing the best they can to do it, but they're probably wearing a pair of handcuffs at the same time, and so having them juggle things while wearing handcuffs and trying to produce real solid news is tough. So and so you gotta keep our minds open to that too. There's different sides to think about, perspectives, and my suggestion is don't overread or overbuy or underestimate what's going on. Just keep an open mind. Do not live in fear. Do not react in fear. Be happy. Smile. That is a big anti-fear solution. It's not like a big faith movement. Just have to learn how to rewire your brain, setting that news aside, not making this quick overall judgment and then looking for things to confirm and believe in your judgment when it's just you've already lied to yourself and now you're trying to prove to yourself or others that you're somehow right, or what you're thinking is completely right, I guess. I don't know. I don't think anybody wants to say I'm wrong and I'm completely wrong. I don't mind saying if I'm wrong. If I don't get it, I'm going to say I'm wrong. And I'm also one of those communicators that I'm talking to other people and they say something to me or something like that, I don't mind repeating what they said to me and my interpretation and repeating it back to them. Like, and it raises, and it also, when I'm doing this, it also raises questions. And so that used to be an old style of communication. Believe it or not, it used to be. I don't see very many people doing it. There's not very many people that I talk to that listen enough to repeat what I just said in their own way so we both understand that we understand. If we don't do that, it means there's there's a truth not being told here, and there's a misunderstanding. And so easy to for someone not to speak up or do say anything, uh, and just like make a judgment and kind of move on. But what you should be doing is go ahead and repeat what people are saying to you to them, and you'll find out the truth. What and if you're really off of what you're thinking they're saying, they'll correct you. You know, and I don't mean like in a reprimanding correction, but in a misunderstand, like, oh, you misunderstood me. You know, and I meant this by that, and that would bring clarity. That will override. You know, that will become the truth. Like, the more clarity there is. That's that's just a good tip for you know uh, communicating with other people. Practice it if you can. Start to participate in conversations by doing that. Like I said, that it was an old. This is an old formula. This is not something I just mentioned right now. That formula of communication uh, used to exist. I don't know when, like back in the days, you know, and a long time ago, and now it doesn't. I still use it. I think it's awesome. I think it's the best way to communicate. But I also understand that this new shift and change, new generations after generation, they don't understand that level of communication yet. You know, it's a really simple understanding is that they don't understand it yet, and they haven't practiced it. So, without even participating in it, how are you even going to know if it really works or not? Because I think it works really, really well. Thank you for your time. Have a great day, everyone. Be awesome. Be excellent. Excellent. Be excellent today. You are an Americanteer. And celebrate. Be excellent. Don't be bummed out. Celebrate life today. Join the Americanteers. We'll make it happen. Peace, love. Have a good one. Bye.